everyone, I'm Captain Logan, and welcome back to yet more Arkham Knight gameplay.
Back up! He's gonna get us! No chance!
We are hip deep in the Arkhamness of it all. When last we met, we helped Poison Ivy release a giant plant. And we talked about nature versus technology. We got a little academic. But only slightly. Now I think we're headed back to movie studios. I really like the idea of Batman operating in this game out of the movie studios.
Just think.
Open.
Down there right now, planning his life with Barbara. Probably thinking of names for all the little rug bats they'll have. What a lucky boy. She is so lovely. Although just a teeny tiny bit on the dead side for my tastes.
You've got these identity questions in this game about how far apart Batman really is from the Joker.
Sir, how are you going to tell Master Drake about Barbara? He'll be devastated. He could do something dangerous.
I'm not. Not yet. I need him focused on the cure.
Sir, it was bad enough keeping Miss Gordon's abduction a secret. But this? It's wrong.
We have to make sacrifices, Alfred.
Consider those sacrifices wisely, sir. If he finds out she's gone and you didn't tell him, you will lose him forever.
Really like Alfred just coming right out and saying, Bruce, that's wrong. We can't be hiding that kind of thing. I just wanted to see what was on those paint buckets. Nothing real interesting, but whenever you see anything written on anything in this game,
Batman.
you start to expect it all to be a reference of some kind.
Is it as bad as it sounds out there?
Worse.
But nothing you can't handle, right?
Sir, the long-range scanners have not been able to locate the cloudburst.
Deploy the Batwing and run a low-level thermal scan.
We can't, sir. Founders Island is protected by 2 radar towers connected to a long-range missile launcher. You won't be able to get the Batwing or indeed the Batmobile anywhere near there.
I can destroy the radar towers on foot, if we can just find a way to disable the drones protecting them.
Well, there is one possibility. I've identified a special drone that appears to be acting as a relay hub managing all communications.
If I can get my hands on that drone, there's a chance we can reverse engineer the security protocols and give me a window to take out those radar towers.
A chance, perhaps, sir. But it sounds dangerous. Too dangerous.
It's the only way. I'll keep you updated.
And by the way, Master Tim, Barbara's dead.
Still haven't heard from Barbara.
Trust me, Robin. She's fine. I need you to focus on the cure.
You don't have to do this on your own, Bruce. I can help you.
It's under control. We need that antidote.
We're getting there. It won't be long now. Look, if you need help, you know where to find me.
So are he and she a thing in this? Because that's a little unusual, right? I think it's bad just because I haven't seen it in comics. It gets awkward because there's all this stuff that we're not informed about.
Come clean like you did with Gordon. But you
That I'd love a little bit of background for.
Why break him now when we can crush him later? It's classic Joker. So I've been rooting around in this bat-infested cave of a mind, and it seems like you actually believe this cure nonsense. Oh, Bruce, forget about the cure. You just concentrate on taking out the Arkham Knight.
I just love blowing stuff up.
Your swan song. The last good thing you'll ever do.
Sometimes I'll stand right up next to a wall, or think I am, and it'll go to the floor instead. It's really irritating. I just wanted to see if there's anything neat in here. Sometimes those walls are there just to surprise the bad guys in a Predator mission, and sometimes there's actually something behind them, like Riddler trophies or some other secret. But I like the movie studios because of where we left things off at the end of last game. This idea of this dance that Batman and the Joker do, and this constant kind of stage show, this this drama that they're putting on for themselves, playing out, and Batman trying to investigate the remnants of the Joker with his toxin, with his tainted blood, and actually having Jokers inside of there, while something is going on with him with that also that's turning him maybe into the Joker, is a thing I like a lot. It makes it really difficult to trust your protagonist, and that's really unnerving while you're playing as him. I like that a lot. Makes him somewhat unreliable. I mean, we know that Batman is doing his best. He's trying. He has maybe his heart in the right place, but he's also really conflicted, and he's not maybe totally sure of his own motivations. And that's a question throughout all of these, is how much of what Batman does is for the greater good, and how much of it is an obsession created by a psychosis he built. There's a real fine line between doing what he does to avenge his parents' murder, and because he's just attacking the world for not being what he wants it to be, and for actually trying to create a world where that sort of thing wouldn't happen to a little boy. And considering he continues to do what he does, while he seems to be to have, in a way, made things worse, really starts to make him wonder
if I can get hold of the communications chip inside
he's
that
crazy.
relay drone, I may be able to find a way to deactivate them.
I like that there's more gliding and dropping on stuff in this game. We've got it with Man-Bat, and we've got it with this drone thing. You have to drop on something from above. It's kind of fun. At first I wasn't sure that you actually could do that. The first time dealing with Man-Bat, it took me a while to figure out that you could actually drop on top of him. I floated around for a good 15-20 minutes trying to see if there was some other thing I was supposed to do, because dropping on him a couple times just didn't work. I just didn't nail it.
You know what? I bet there's a plan C waiting if we don't work out. You put it like that, I want to be plan C.
C for C list. Here we go. Here we go. Ugh! Yeah, take that, Hand of Fate! That's grade A cheating, Batman!
The relay chip will allow me to temporarily blind the drones. That should give me enough time to take out the 2 radar towers.
Batman has to be more used to the sound of explosions than anyone else on the planet. Doesn't even flinch, doesn't even react. He's just used to being around explosions of all kinds. Large explosions, small explosions, implosions even. Batman has seen it all. And again,
I need to
arguably,
destroy the radar before the drone comes back on.
has caused it all. We'll talk about this more and more as we move along, but the big difference with this game from the other two is that this is a Batman who, this is a character arc where Batman ultimately does change.
Probable malfunction. I'm assigning tech now.
And is actually changing throughout, even though he is maybe resisting that.
Can't lose this radar. It's the only thing stopping him from bringing that tank of his onto this island.
You have a Batman that refuses to give in to his fears the first 2 games, and has already admitted this far in that he is afraid, and some of the questionable choices he makes, I think, are a direct reaction to those fears. Scarecrow's plan is actually getting to him. And not being able to figure out who Arkham Knight is, and that Arkham Knight is able to play on his... Oh, God!
The look on your face when you saw him. I would have thought the big bad Batman, scared of his own reflection.
If you missed it earlier, that's a callback to the first time we see we see Man-Bat. This is a building that we end up having to go up on a couple times, so both finding Man-Bat right there on accident and seeing the Joker there happened to me both times playing through.
I hope the bat does show. I want to scalp the son of a bitch.
What I was going to say earlier is he's also afraid, of course, and is frustrated because Arkham Knight is playing on his personal life. He knows things about him that he is able to feed the Scarecrow, and it's eating away at him that he doesn't know who this person is, and that it's another thing that he's likely responsible for, because this person clearly wants revenge on him, and he, in his mind now, has done great disservices to people in his life, and he's making as bad or worse mistakes because he's not trusting them. It's because he doesn't trust himself. He is afraid to not just let people in, but let them help
How
him.
you feel about this Arkham Wannabat? The same way I feel about those cheap Joker knockoffs you've got at the movie studios. There can only be one Joker, Bats, and it's me. I mean, you.
I can use the remote hacking device to temporarily blind the sentry gun.
Massacre the lot of them and purify the Joker gene pool.
This is one of the things I was talking about last video, is that you'll have a story thing that will interrupt one of the Joker's monologues, and some of that stuff really informs the story thematically, and you kind of want it. It's almost impossible to get a 100% clear picture of the story that's being told, because it's an interactive thing, and it's very easy to skip around and not see everything. And yet, on the other hand, it's almost less of an issue with this game than the other two. Well, I don't know if it's less of an issue. Some of those things I think play as being important, or I'm worried I need them and I missed them. But this game is, in my opinion, kind of overwritten compared to the other two. So there is a lot of just extraneous stuff that's kind of repeating things over and over again that we've heard a lot. You're going to get that to a degree in a video game like this, because it's not a straightforward, you know, 2-hour narrative. It's straightforward. It's just, it's not about just showing the parts that are important to the story. We're also supposed to experience everything for ourselves.
You're immune to my toxin, Ivy, but when I find you, you will be afraid.
So there's gonna be a degree of repetition. This game, I think, has it to kind of an absurd degree.
Device to temporarily blind the sentry gun.
Yeah, the trouble here was figuring out which sentry gun to disable when, because there's 2 of them. And I didn't realize the other one was
sensors are temporarily
just
disabled.
facing the other way.
I can only hack one. I can use the remote hacking device to temporarily blind the sentry.
So you have to take out this first one and then sneak up and knock out the other one physically.
Yeah, I've got some interrogation skills. Did some jobs in Hasaragua with a guy named Barrera. He knew how to make people talk.
and now I'm realizing that the other one is not turned toward me. I wasn't sure about that.
Bat's tearing the city apart looking for the cloudburst. He's not gonna find it. Well, he'll find it. The Knights are getting ready.
Lines like that are frustrating to me a little bit when the Knight's good and ready. The Knight is impatient. He wants Batman dead. That's all he seems to want. He talks about it constantly. He's got this really elaborate plan.
Alfred, I've dealt with the radar.
Now there's just the trivial matter of the long-range missile launcher. Once it's been taken care of, I can deploy the Batwing to scan for the cloudburst.
I'm heading there now.
If this weren't supposed to be the last in this series, and of course everyone's expecting more Batman games of some kind, or more DC games of some kind from Rocksteady. But if you'd continued with this, the next step would have been to get to actually pilot the Batwing, I think. Have a lot of aerial drones, airplanes and stuff.
Radars are down. He's coming for us. Let him. He's used to fighting street punks. They're scared. I'm not. Don't underestimate him. So the Knight keeps telling us. You're all giving the Bat too much respect. You think he lasted this long on luck? Yeah, and it's about to run out.
Yeah, you're a moron.
Damn it. Signal's gone. He could be anywhere.
Name one other person who's taken out this many people, the armed thugs, by himself in the history of the world. So this'll take a few minutes, although not as long as it did the first time I tried it. And again, I'm playing this on an easier mode. I could be wrong about this, but I think the drones in this section make it a lot harder on normal and hard mode. I should also say I've played through a little bit on New Game Plus, but I decided not to record gameplay from that just because I'm dying more often, and it would be irritating to have to try to sit through or to have to try to edit up.
Your mission, your little holy war, it all ends tonight. You got away using... Taking old man down.
Making this look somewhat respectable. The grates, of course, are as much of a staple as the gargoyles of these games.
Move under the floor.
I think they find you more often in this game when you're in the grates than they did in Asylum City. Although I'm finding it harder and harder to compare the three because I've been playing this game off and on for about 6 months. To some of you hardcore gamers that play a game in a weekend and then go on to another one, that probably sounds absurd. But as I said, off and on, and I haven't played Arkham Asylum City in well over a year. And so the more I play this, the more the other games and how exactly the gameplay works and the nuances and the differences kind of get away from me.
You're in there. Things are about to get painful.
Here we go, get him! On easy mode, it's really simple to go up against even 3 guys with guns dropping a smoke pellet. If I were doing this on another mode, I'd be dead already. And again, that's why I'm not being as cautious as I would be otherwise. That's fun. Hit him in the shin. Drop him off that ladder.
Gamma 4 status. Gamma 4, do you copy? Sir, he's going for the defense shield.
Arkham Knight has this really elaborate plan, and of course it's along with the Scarecrow, but
The armor on the missile launcher's too thick for me to penetrate. I need something with a little more punch.
It seems to me like
It's being protected by a defense shield. I can lower it in the control room.
His particular revenge motivation and actually having a personal connection to Batman as opposed to Scarecrow, who's just mad at him for leaving him to die. You know, sort of like Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins. Although I guess that wasn't so much of a revenge thing. But Scarecrow is so much more generic, and yet he's the one who has this whole psychological fascination with Batman, and I mean, that makes sense with his background and his interest in stuff, but then it just kind of makes him another Hugo Strange in a way, and it seems to me, and we'll talk about this a lot more when we get to some revelations at the end, but it just seems to me like he and the Arkham Knight have almost flipped not motivations but methods. It's hey, look, porta potties. It's taking me a minute to figure out where exactly this office is, because it's not letting me grapple right to where it seems like I need to grapple to. It's like, where is it? And if this office is this hard for Batman to find, I can only imagine what it was like for the people who work here. They don't have grappling hooks. I'm kidding. It's actually just a matter of a staircase I can't find.
Can't trust him.
I keep wanting to do everything with the grappling hook. Sometimes it's as simple as, well, there's a way to get in there. I might actually just be able to climb up that ladder. I thought there was a staircase I was missing. There it is. But yeah, there's a lot of poetic justice that Scarecrow and the Knight together. We're in a Queen Industries building here. All of this Queen Green Arrow reference stuff, I don't think ever would have happened, or not nearly as much of it anyway, if it hadn't been for the popularity of the TV show.
Bring the car in remotely. I can't let the militia get in here and re-enable the defenses.
Alfred, I need you to lower the bridges.
Of course, sir. I see you're making full use of the Batmobile's remote guidance system.
Oh yeah, full use of it, because the game is constantly making me use this.
Batman's lowering all 3 bridges into Founders Island.
I can't decide how inconsistent we're being about the range of the Batmobile. Sometimes I'll pull back and it'll say, oh, Batman will be like, I have to keep the Batmobile in range, but I seem a lot closer to it than in other places like this, where it seems like I can get pretty far away. I don't know if I'm right about that. But it is a thing I thought maybe I was picking up on. Batman has no respect for the dead. Batman, you ran over the tombstones, but you didn't move the bodies. I think some of the frustration that I was talking about earlier with regards to Arkham Knight seeming to mostly just want Batman dead, but he's got this really elaborate scheme with Scarecrow, would kind of be fixed if you simply had both of them wanting something different out of Batman for what he actually emotionally goes through.
I've got support nearby. I'm sending it in.
Some of it is just his too often saying, I want him dead right now. He is really impatient about it, and that seems kind of inconsistent with the way he's going about these things. This is just like you take the whole city, you lay this siege on the entire city, make all these people evacuate. You get the entire supervillain community to financially support your scheme, which is, by the way, given to us in a single line of dialogue that is, once again, one that I think would be pretty easy to not notice or even bypass entirely if you were to drop on a group of thugs too quickly in the scene where we get it. And I think it happens before this new round of gameplay videos that I've started. We had it earlier and I probably missed it before, but I caught it second time around.
There's nothing here. He's gone. Return to patrol pattern.
Actually, he's right there. Sometimes I have to remind myself that there's actually no one inside these drones.
And then take out the missile.
Because it always feels weird that I can get right in front of them, and as long as those lasers aren't directed right at me, they can't see me. Then I have to remember, oh, that's how the militia are seeing me.
I can't see him. He's there, Sergeant.
Did it take you this long to beat these guys? Probably not. I like the name Killingers for a department store in Gotham. That sounds morbid and appropriate. And of course, it's probably this upscale, really high-end place. Just having a heck of a time getting behind one of these without another one seeing me. Dealing with 2 or 3, it's not so bad. Not a huge fan of these sections. Although I've gotten a little bit better at them, so they're more fun than they were before. But it sucks when you've got on your sights and you almost nailed it, and then suddenly it turns around and sees you.
You're not drawing me out, Batman.
What's Delta status, Sergeant?
Inbound, sir. About 2 clicks south of target location.
These military guys, they sure sound like they've had a lot of real training, like they were in the actual military. Maybe they're just playing. Maybe they always wanted to be military guys, or they just, and for some reason they couldn't join the army, or they didn't like the army, or they were dishonorably discharged. I mean, maybe this is all just dishonorably discharged soldiers. Or just guys who sit around playing Call of Duty all day.
We know where you are, Batman. You're not getting out of that control room alive.
I'm thinking about it, they're all using these drones sitting in an office somewhere.
Area scan complete. We've got nothing.
Like sitting in their fatigues, eating Fritos and cheese. It's real easy to talk like this and act like an actual army personality when it's like you're just playing video games. See, it's social commentary about the digital age we live in and social isolation.
Offline. Sending a Cobra to support.
That's giving it too much credit. I'm kidding.
Sir, I don't think 5 tanks was enough.
So I'm getting the feeling that the Batmobile is just gonna be a tank from now on. The car we have in this game looks surprisingly a lot like the one we're getting in Batman vs. Superman.
I've lost him.
You've got the number.
Perhaps it even does that thing with the wheels where it can kind of turn its front and its front end and aim at anything it wants to, no matter which direction it's moving in. See, like this. What am I doing? I do not like all the rocket stuff up here. I gotta blow it up. It is not a good night for Batman unless he causes a lot of property damage.
Pressure unit destroyed. Strike team
Finally, when Batman starts, and of course we haven't seen the movie yet, but when Batman starts freaking out on Superman and Batman v Superman about collateral damage, I'm going to be real interested to see how much collateral damage Batman has ever caused, or if it's talked about in his war on crime.
I told the Arkham Knight that you are his to dispose of after tonight. Though I warned him.
Especially playing these games, it's hard not to think that would be a really difficult thing to avoid all the time. Oh, man. Just slammed into a building. So this is weird because you can drop it, and then you're like, oh crap, how do you raise it? I don't know why that's even... Maybe it's used for another spot that I'm forgetting, but I don't know why there's even a point there to, you know, attach the... Excuse me, the winch. I can go under it, though. Look at that. All that detail. All the way down to the mechanics underneath it. It's really cool. So I look like an idiot right now because I'm not finding the other point for the power winch. But again, in my defense, this is not real intuitive. At least I sure didn't think. So I'm like, wait, oh, it's up there. There it is. It'll take me a second to find it. All these porta potties. We've really done some research on what a construction site looks like. I mean, when you gotta go, you gotta go. And it is not a thing that you'd think that we necessarily, you know, think of.
You got me. Okay, I give up.
Where'd he go?
Raise the defense shields. Keep all access points covered.
So at first, perspective-wise, this is really strange.
He heard you boys coming from a mile
because I didn't
away.
realize that
Those
I was
pointy
above
ears
them.
aren't just for show, you know.
I was like, am I seeing this happen? I would have to for the Joker to be there, and then it turns out that I am.
Are we still on schedule?
Some of the POV stuff in this is really clever, and some of it is unbelievable and kind of careless.
Who are you?
That's some great detective work there, Batman.
Not yet, Dark Knight.
Sometimes he's patient, sometimes he's not.
We're gonna end you.
Wait, did he just disappear? He taught Batman all of Batman's tricks, and he should really recognize his own training. It's really strange that Batman's not talking more about people that he's trained and that he's worked with, especially when he gets up close and personal with the Arkham Knight. He's still talking later on about people that have been in Arkham that he put away there. He's just not even remotely beginning to get the hint, and we've seen Batman in other stories dealing with with even this exact same character. I mean, like if memory serves, and it's been a while since I've seen the Red Hood movie, but it seems like there he recognized his own handiwork in the Red Hood. Oh yeah, because remember there's that bit with the line and the knife where he's got that very specific move that Batman taught him and that hardly anyone else is capable of doing. Admittedly, we don't have anything specifically like that in this, but when he gets right up to the Arkham Knight like that and then he disappears that way, I mean, he's using Batman's methods. Not to mention, he's making himself a mockery of Batman.
Tell me you have a name.
I don't, sir. Of the few Arkham Asylum patients who weren't recaptured and sent
Oh, here we
to
go. We're
Arkham
talking about
City,
it now.
none appear capable of organizing and leading such an assault.
He's not a ghost, Alfred. He's got training and a grudge. Widen the search to include anyone ever committed to Arkham because of me.
Sir?
You heard me.
That's a great many individuals, sir.
I know, Alfred. I'm trusting you to narrow it down.
I keep referencing things that happen right in the part of the game that we're talking about, not realizing it.
Robbing banks? What do these crooks think this is? The Wild West? Seems smart enough to me.
When hardly anyone is in the city, seems like looting, going as far as banks, would be something people left behind would be doing. It took an embarrassing long time to figure out. Embarrassingly. Whoosh! Never get tired of that. Oof. I gotta fight guys up here in my Batmobile. This is an awkward place to try to take guys out from. There we go. The reason that I'm not using my dodge thrusters here, or it's taking me a minute to figure out that I should be, is I'm used to seeing that line of sight. Now suddenly it starts giving it to me. You can turn hints on and off, and sometimes I'm not sure what constitutes as hints, because I always leave them on. Just because even with them, sometimes things seem to be counterintuitive.
You think I'm just like all the others?
Arkham Knight, you are really whiny, dude.
Alfred, the Arkham Knight's missile launcher is destroyed. I'm calling in the Batwing to start searching for the cloudburst. Upload the results to the clock tower once it's complete.
Okay, now we're done playing soldiers. Let's have some real fun. We'll take turns.
I'm heading to the clock tower, Alfred.
Keep going on the story
Upload
here
the
for
data
now.
from the Batwing as soon as the analysis is complete.
Very well, sir.
Delightful scavenger hunt. Then I'll do some hit and runs in the Batmobile. I promise I'll hand control of your body right back when my turn's done.
That was a little glitchy. So Mark Hamill, of course, claimed he was done with this role after Arkham City, and not only did he do this game and has probably more dialogue than anybody else in it, and I mean, it was a neat coup that, like, as far as I know, and I could be wrong about this, but it wasn't really announced that he was going to be in this, and it snuck up on us, which was really fun. I mean, it took me a little bit to even realize that it was definitely him. And then he's doing the Killing Joke movie, and he's doing that new Justice League show. I wonder what changed his mind. Maybe it's just too much fun.
Identity confirmed.
I love this clock tower design a lot. I keep wanting to call it a set, but, you know, it's all animated, so it's not really a set. I think this is as cool or cooler than the
Alfred,
Batcave.
pull up the footage from the Batwing's onboard scanner.
Certainly, sir. As you can see, the Batwing has completed an orbital sweep of Founders Island, but there's still no sign of the cloudburst. I will, of course, let you know when the situation changes, but one moment, sir. I'm receiving an emergency broadcast from the movie studios.
Batman, I hope you can hear this. The movie studios are under attack. Robin is in trouble.
Listen to me very carefully. You need to lock down that room. We can't let the infected get out.
Of course. Tell me when.
Henry!
That's enough from you! Well, look who's too late to save the day. How's it going, Batbrain? It's been a while.
Harley Quinn.
So you do remember me. That's weird. Because you killed the only
Also
thing
known
I
as
ever loved.
Bubbles.
And now I find you've been keeping a whole new generation of jokers to yourself. I know. Awkward.
Don't do it. They're not stable.
Oh, they're not stable? Maybe you want to take a look in the mirror sometime.
Alfred, I need to get to the movie studios.
Please be quick, sir. Miss Quinn is clearly volatile. Robin may be in serious danger.
So you're playing through this game, and you got to be wondering when she's going to pop up. It's a lot later in the game than I would have expected to finally get to her.
I told you we should have butchered that bunch of second-rate tribute acts. They'd better not kill Robin Bats. I had the idea first.
Of course, we have to really fudge the timetable in these games a lot, but this one especially. The sheer number of things you get done in a single evening, especially if you play like me, and it takes you a while to find out where things are sometimes.
The airship as you nearly tore those men apart. Fears on us, Dark Knight. It seems a cornered bat may be a killer after all.
So here comes pretty soon one of the tougher Predator missions. Stealth bits. And again, on this mode, it's a lot easier. It took me a good long time to get through it. First time I played it. I get kind of set in my ways in a game like this, and new things get introduced and kind of force me to use
Voice print failure. Access denied.
new gadgets and things when I've been doing these stealth parts a particular way.
Harley's changed the voice code access. I can adapt the modulator I picked up from the Arkham Knight's driver to synthesize her voice.
I want so much for Batman to just be really good at doing voices, and instead of having to synthesize them, he just does a Harley Quinn. Batman's like, okay, I just need to sound sort of like a more demented version of Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls.
How's it going, Batbrain? It's been a while.
All Batman has to do is talk into that thing and say, but what about the giant ant? I am not Bubbles! Bubbles is not my name! For that is not the correct name to address me by because it is not my name!
Too late to save the day. Voice calibration complete.
That's hilarious. I want
Now I can
that
use the
voice
synthesizer to mimic Harley's voice and open the door.
as the
Before
verbal
activating the
interface
motor, I need to pick a target.
part of a computer for like an entire science fiction show.
Something must have happened. Maybe the radio's busted.
If I find
Voice calibration complete.
have big out and the beauty lives up one by one.
This ain't good.
What the hell?
Someone took them all out.
Ugh, it was that stinking bat-faced loser.
Commander Riker is in 10 forward.
Down here now. I
course, she's taken the time to dress up all of her thugs in her regalia. And then when we get inside this place again,
I can use the voice synthesizer to manipulate Harley's men.
It's impossible to believe, especially since we were just there.
Harley, wasting time on those not
all the stuff that they've set up in there, decorated.
Go check the grate over there.
How the hell she found your top secret bat base, Batface? She couldn't find her own reflection in a mirror when I was alive. It's like something was holding her back.
This idea that Harley Quinn needed more motivation of some kind is kind of interesting. That she relied maybe too much on the Joker, and that she has it in herself to be a pretty formidable crime boss herself. I never liked the idea of Harley Quinn as a super genius. But Harley Quinn is competent and intelligent is okay. I mean, she needs to be at least smart because she was a psychiatrist.
We should check up on the guy he took out. Where? This way. I'll keep watch.
Go check the grate over there.
Go water my plants!
I was wondering how long he'd take to get started. He got lucky. Doing our me, he's gonna get it. We can't wake him up. We're gonna find the bat who took him out.
Yeah, I'm special because I say so. Did I just throw something?
I heard something. Me too. He ain't getting away again. Be up there.
Batman's done with his gum wrapper. I want a real, honest-to-God bat signal, like, to scale, to put on top of my house and aim at conveniently passing clusters of clouds. And see if any cosplayers show up. See if my good buddy Pierce shows up with his brilliantly put together bat suits.
Target before giving an order.
And of course, like everybody, I also want a Batmobile. Maybe one of these days. One of these days! I did not duck in time. Trying to take out these minigunners. But getting these other guys isolated so that you can take them out before they come up to you is sometimes tough. And what keeps happening, too, is I'm going after these minigunners on accident, some of them. For some far enough away. I'm not checking first to make sure that I'm not going after a minigunner. So you can tell it's on easy, because I should be dead. Oh, look at the size of that city. And that's not even all of it, of course. I still think it would have been cool if we'd gotten to go back into Arkham City for some section of this game. But I do appreciate the effort in not just recycling mostly old locations. I'm not a big fan of Origins, especially story-wise, but one of the things I really appreciate about that game is that you do get to see, if memory serves, you get to see some of the area that you explore in Arkham City actually in use and functioning before it's utilized as Arkham City and condemned before that, some of it. Well, we're gaining. As always, by the way, feel free to skip around a little bit if you want to. Some of these sections just take me a little bit of time to. I'm not anything like a professional gamer, or even a real proficient gamer.
Looks like the bat decided to stick around. Sentry gun deployed. Area's hot. We can't help him. He's out cold. Keep a lookout.
But practice makes perfect.
Show yourself.
It's interesting, we're getting fewer superhero video games lately that aren't Lego things than we ever used to, which is probably a good thing because most of what we're getting is decent. And a lot of what we used to get were crappy movie tie-ins, and you notice we don't get nearly as many movie tie-ins as we used to. Past Begins, none of the Nolan movies had video games. I may go through the Batman Begins game at some point because I like it more than a lot of people do. And there's some... I've talked about this before, but... And I'm dead. I've talked about this before, but there are a number of components to the Arkham games that we wouldn't have in the form we have them in if it weren't for that game.
We've got him right where we... Oh, dear.
And we brought back the Area Fear thing in this game, which I kind of missed in Asylum and City and wondered if we'd ever have that. And that came directly from that Batman Begins game. Unless it was just a coincidence that they both thought of it. And of course, thematically really appropriate to have that here. That Batman Begins game, of course, isn't, remotely as sophisticated in its mechanics as this is. But for the time, the graphics are really impressive. And I like, again, just like with these, I like the atmosphere of it a lot. It really captures the spirit of that movie.
Is it contagious?
It feels like, it doesn't feel like just another crappy tie-in, just rushing it out. It feels like a game somebody really wanted to make. And the voice work in that game is pretty decent. Or at least I remember it being decent. I haven't played it in years. I had that on, and still do, on the Nintendo GameCube.
I see him up there.
Well, we're gonna get this area cleared, then get inside, and we're already almost up to an hour, so that will do it for us today.
Started, boys.
Big bad freak strikes again.
Try that again, Batman. I dare you.
Forget it. This guy's out cold. Let's move on.
I don't think you should dare Batman. Do you think he could fly?
That didn't take long. Next one of you idiots to go down gets to be Big Al's new punch bag.
How does she know immediately when one of her thugs has been taken out?
I can use the voice synthesizer to clear out the thugs.
Is she watching all this from somewhere and not sending other thugs out, even though she's got like 100 more inside?
Three Looks like I'm running out of idiots.
Maybe she also has detective vision. Let me see that Harley Quinn in a bat suit.
No, no, we ain't letting Harley down.
Check that weapons crate.
Detective vision. She really makes you want Batman to do a bunch of other people's voices. But I guess he does the most over-the-top and funniest voices in the game.
Come out and show yourself.
Like Simon Stagg.
Even Batman won't be able to stop us.
How many morons does it take to kill a bat? I'm guessing more than 2. Prove me wrong, dumbasses!
So, like, send more out. I mean, not that I, want that, but...
He's gonna kill us, like he killed Joker. I'm withholding medicine.
Okay, that's pretty funny. Batman's gonna withhold medicine? Sometimes it is fun to take a little bit longer just to hear more lines of dialogue. And again, take in more of this game, more of this world.
Listen, you dumbasses. Mr. J left
Oh, she
me a
loves that
list of
word.
ways to discipline you idiots for screwing up. I haven't read it yet because thinking of him hurts so bad. But I will!
Oh man, it's Bubbles in a Harley Quinn suit.
Harley will get you back. She wants you.
Go look over there!
Whatever you say, boss.
I am gonna miss the old voices in the new Powerpuff Girls show. Hoping it grows on me. I'm not in love with what I've seen and heard so far, but I will give it a chance.
You're the only one left, Chowderhead. So stop looking so scared and kill that bat-faced loser!
All by your lonesome.
The voice synthesizer won't work while he's busy with something else.
Oh man, he's making a sandwich. I can't use the voice synthesizer. He's busy updating his Facebook status. I can't use the scanner thing.
Placing sentry gun.
Yeah, you go up that
Why are you doing this? We just want our
ladder.
Mr. J back. And you did. But mostly we just want our Mr. J.
That's the thugs dealt with. Time to go after Harley.
I do like Harley's plot quite a bit. Trying to get to these people who have kind of become the Joker. And I do like how this game deals with Batman and Joker both as larger-than-life ideas, legends, archetypes, versus the actual men. Joker, of course, kind of always remains that larger idea. In this game is about separating for Batman, the idea from the man. It's thinking, you know, it wants to be about stuff. It wants to continue on developing and progressing those ideas from the other games. I like this part a lot. I really enjoy all of the turning around and seeing something that wasn't there before. That tone is haunting and nightmarish now.
Ah, memories. You, me, and a ward full of psychotic killers. You've never felt so at home, have you? Oh, come on. You think you're different because you never killed anyone? Newsflash! You killed me. I was there, remember?
By withholding medicine.
Destroyed my cure right in front of me. Watch me choke on my last laugh. And then, after killing me, you said you would have shared. You couldn't admit I'd won, could you? Not even as a parting gift. But now I'm on the inside. Ooh, we both know the truth. Yes, you've killed before, and tonight I'll make you do it again.
Getting back to that idea that Batman deserved to be in the asylum, maybe. And that he's most at home there. Alright, thanks as always for watching. I will see you again in the next part when we will get... I tried to sneak up on him, it just didn't work out. When we will get into the 3 Jokers and taking down Harley Quinn.
I can't take much more.